What's going on, guys? Sam from Anime 3, and today I wanted to talk about the symbolism in Chainsaw Man Reze Arc. When I was looking at this in cinemas, I spotted so many hidden gems that gave this movie so much depth and intensity, and I think so many people may have overlooked this. I did see other YouTubers make reference links to certain scenes that look like other scenes, but not enough on how great the symbolism was in Chainsaw and what it possibly all meant. Not that I even need to say this, but there's going to be spoilers in this video, so if you haven't seen this movie, please go watch this movie or leave the video. So here's the greatest use of symbolism in Chainsaw Man Reze Arc for me. Number 1, the coffee shop dates. In the beginning, Makima invites Denji out to the cinema for a movie marathon. She believes that not all movies are great, but sometimes if you keep watching, you'll find a movie that might change your life or way of thinking. As a movie did change Makima's life before, and that's why she's on this marathon run. During this time, both Makima and Denji don't laugh or cry when everyone else does, making them bounce from movie to coffee shop until they find a movie that brings them to tears. The movie shown had very slow and possibly meaningful movements behind the characters. There was something subtle and deep that hit Denji and Makima really hard. I love this for a few reasons. One, it shows that Makima and Denji are very different from everyone else, and what would impact them wouldn't impact most people. People with PTSD, for example, may experience a certain situation differently. They may not flinch with what would normally scare someone, but may flinch with certain sounds or movements that normally wouldn't scare anyone. The sound of fireworks or random bangs or pots falling is normal to a lot of people, but to people with PTSD with guns, this could trigger a real fight or flight response within them. This was also perfect for the setup of the Chainsaw Man movie itself. A lot of people love Chainsaw, but it's not as close to the hype shows like JJK gets. In a way, Fujimoto is telling us only a certain type of person that really cares about high level story and character development will like this. The second thing I see is that the coffee shops give Denji, Makima and Reze the illusion of a normal life. This is what normal people would do. They would go to a coffee shop. The only difference is that Denji, Makima and Reze aren't really normal people. Their lives are very weird and dangerous. If you see the coffee shop Makima and Denji are in, you would see that it's almost empty with just a few people around. It could be an artistic direction to put our eyes on Makima and Denji more, but it could also mean that there's something unsettling about the story or where the story is heading. Usually coffee shops in a busy area are really packed or have at least more people in it than just two. Fujimoto does a great job at letting the audience sit in this eerie place. Also, the coffee shop where Denji meets Reze is named Crossroads or Two Roads in the manga. Fujimoto chose this name because it represents the moment where characters' paths are at a crucial turning point and a decision must be made that would divide their lives. Number 2, Denji asks Makima if he has a heart, and Makima places her ear to Denji's chest to hear his heartbeat. I love this because it shows Makima can seem so kind and friendly, but has probably orchestrated every single decision Denji has ever made since they met. In season 1, I don't know if people remember, but in season 1, Makima right away knew from looking and smelling at him that he's some sort of hybrid when Denji asks. I think this is just strategic manipulation. She could have answered yes or no or I don't know, maybe, but she made a gesture out of it designed to win his loyalty and make him a more devoted pet, giving her control over the Chainsaw Man she really wants. The flowers. From this point, Denji feels better about himself and who he is. Now a better person, as Makima told him he has a heart. One day he donates money and is given a white flower. He eats that white flower and moves on. Later it starts to rain and he runs into the phone booth. Reze runs in the same booth and they meet for the first time. While talking in there, Denji pulls a weirdly romantic gesture. He coughs up the flower and hands it to Reze. And why is this so important? Well, depending on the cultures, it could mean different things. Usually in Western culture, white flowers signal innocence, beauty, new beginnings, and in other cultures, I believe in Eastern cultures, white flowers may be used for mourning and funerals. It could be either of those things for different audiences. Also, in Japanese flower language, hanakotoba, hopefully I said that right, a white daisy can signify a hidden or deeply buried love. Denji had to spit the flower or cough the flower out, symbolizing his efforts to reveal his true sincere self and his desire to connect with Reze on an emotional level. When Reze takes this flower, the rain stops instantly. The new start or the hidden love might start. Reze invites him to the coffee shop she works at and Denji runs over there. The coffee shop is pretty much empty, even more so than when Makima and Denji were in one. This could mean that Denji's love interests are pretty much the same, or possibly nearly the same people, the same person. Possibly dangerous for Denji, but only Denji doesn't know it yet. There's this flower shown again in a glass. This for me symbolizes the ticking time bomb of their relationship. The flower in water acts as a visual metaphor for the fleeting time Denji and Reze have together. Over the course of the final scene, the flower dies, symbolizing their time running out. The school. Denji talks to Reze in how he never had a normal life. He doesn't go to school and he's never been to school. He doesn't have many friends, or he doesn't have much of anything. Reze brings Denji over to a school where they explore the place, learn, and then swim. I love this scene for so many reasons. Number one, going back to school is a great metaphor for trying to relive and rewrite their childhood. A lot of who you become starts from childhood, and although this was just a part of the story, it had great depth to it. We also see this picture in B-roll. This is a painting by Francois Boucher of Daphnis and Chloe. It's based on an ancient Greek love story about two young people who fall into a soft, innocent first love romance in the countryside. And that is exactly what Reze is pretending to offer Denji. But the deeper symbolism hits much harder. Reze initially mirrors this vibe. She's a sweet schoolgirl that has a warm, almost dreamlike vibe that's a safe place that Denji never had. The original story is about two people who want to be together but are constantly blocked by fate, social forces, and violence. Their love is pure but doomed, interrupted by outside forces, defined by longing more than fulfillment. This mirrors Denji and Reze perfectly. Even if Reze truly feels something, her duty, conditioning, and background make the relationship impossible. The painting foreshadows the doomed love between Denji and Reze. The pool water / swim. Water in literature often symbolizes purity, cleansing, rebirth, but here it symbolizes danger disguised as comfort. Denji relaxes in that pool because he thinks he's safe, he thinks he's loved, he thinks he's found peace, but Reze's entire presence is a weapon. The pool is a metaphor for diving into love, being submerged into fantasy, drowning without noticing and against your own free will. The calm water doesn't show the bomb underneath. It's the perfect metaphor for falling in love with the wrong person. Some people didn't like seeing Denji and Reze naked, and I can completely understand that. I think I spoke about this before on how a lot of media now is pushing the dirtiest version of intimacy to us for no reason at all. But Chainsaw Man isn't just weird for the sake of it. There's a lot of meaning behind it. Number one, Reze isn't just flirting, she's trained. She's a weapon. She knows exactly how to use vulnerability as a tool. Getting naked creates trust, intimacy, lowered guard, an emotional bond Denji can't handle. She needs Denji soft, open, and confused, not suspicious. So she uses the most powerful human tool she has, vulnerability. Number two, if I'm naked, I can't be a threat, which is a lie. Psychologically, nudity signals I'm defenseless, you're safe with me, I'm not hiding weapons. For Denji, who grew up abused, unloved, and hyper-guarded, this is overwhelming. Reze's message is, see, I'm harmless, you can relax. But this is manipulation. She is, in fact, the most dangerous person in the arc. Fujimoto uses nudity as a metaphor for emotional exposure. In Chainsaw Man, nudity symbolizes someone's inner truth, but Reze weaponizes it. With power in Denji, nudity equals comedy and innocence. With Makima, nudity is domination and control. With Reze, nudity is false vulnerability. Reze is performing intimacy. She's pretending to be emotionally naked while physically stripping. This contrast is the core tragedy. And for the people that saying that's BS, intimacy has always worked as a weapon in espionage, with Mata Hari of the World War I being the most famous example. Mata Hari was an exotic dancer and courtesan who seduced high-ranking military officers across Europe. She gained access to military schedules, troop movement information, classified conversations spoken in bed. She is the classical historical symbol of how sexuality and intimacy can be a form of espionage. Her legend literally shaped the term femme fatale spy, the spider and the butterfly, or predator versus prey. One of the most important scenes happens at the school's pool, and I remember seeing this in cinemas and thinking, wow, I hope everyone else got that. Denji and Reze are floating in warm blue water, or cold, I'm not sure, but their voices are echoing in this stolen pocket of the world. It looks serene, but then you see it, a spider crawling towards a butterfly on a web. The spider strikes, fast, clean, natural. The spider is Reze, the butterfly is Denji. Not because she's evil and not because Denji is weak, but because that's their nature in the world they live in. Reze was trained to seduce, trap and kill. Denji was trained to trust, obey and give. A perfect predator and perfect prey meeting under perfect moonlight. This scene is soft, but the message is violent. Later, Reze literally bites Denji during a kiss. This is the predator consuming the prey she's been studying. But here's the twist. Even predators can fall in love with the things they hunt. The music here is so good, and I just had to add this in there. But the firework and nighttime scenes, I love the effects they had on this. It was like a slow delay or echo effect when Reze was running and Denji was following her through a crowd of people and lights were happening, and then there was fireworks later. I think this was done to push the fever dream feel we get with Reze, which is why it just hit so hard, and even harder in the cinemas, to be honest. I loved every second of this. That's why when she asked Denji to run away and he refuses, the switch to biting then trying to kill him freaked me out a little bit. And I love how the fireworks exploding and turning to a deeper, darker red signaled stuff is about to go crazy and stuff is about to explode. Drowning. After she tries to kill Denji, they have an epic fight, and I remember two things happening that I really loved. Denji tries to end this madness and wraps Reze up and jumps into the sea to stop her bombs from going off. I love the links between this and the pool scene. In one scene, Denji has no control and jumped because he was told to. In this one, he sees Reze for who she truly is and jumps in for him. And as they are out of the water, Reze tells Denji that she doesn't like him and he was naive for thinking so. Later, Reze does something she always wanted to do, leave. And as she's by the train station, she's handed a red flower, a beautiful mirroring of the story, the beginning and the end of Denji and Reze. What does the red flower represent? This could mean different things to different people. Red usually symbolizes love and romance, so on one hand it symbolizes her true feelings for Denji. Reze picking that flower is her first genuine unmasked moment. She is not acting, not pretending, not manipulating. She actually decides to go see Denji. The flower is her way of saying, I want this, I want him, and I want something real. It's the most honest thing she's ever held. But in true Fujimoto style, it could mean the darkest of things. It foreshadows her death. A red flower is delicate, it wilts, it bleeds color. In Japanese symbolism, red flowers, especially red spider lilies, often represent death, parting, tragic love, and the point of no return. The fact that she's holding a fragile red flower on her way to see Denji is a quiet warning. This happiness will not survive. And it doesn't. Now, I might have missed some, but these were my favorite uses of symbolism. Let me know what you guys think. I loved this movie. I thought it was really, really good. And I had so much fun learning and trying to dissect everything. Let me know what I missed and what I probably need to talk about next. And also let me know what you'd want me to review or talk about next. Also, we don't just make reviews, we also have a podcast section of this channel, a vlog section, and of course an anime and manga review section. So hopefully you check out those things too. Alright guys, thank you. Bye.